Hi, I am Desa Larkin-Boutté. In 2020, I was the grand prize winner of Creative Screenwriting's Unique Voices competition. The ISA invited me onto the development slate, and now I'm a top 25 writer to watch in 2021. Part of the reason why I wanted to submit to Creative Screenwriting competition is because I've been able to work with a really strong group of really talented creative bosses, and they have almost all of them have been featured in this publication. And so it was almost like when you're applying to college, like I'm just going to apply to Harvard anyway, just to see. And then that's kind of what drove me to it. I mean, it's such a great resource for writers, and I felt that the competition kind of paired well with what I was trying to say in my script. It was amazing because prior to learning about the top 25, I was just so thrilled to be part of the ISA team. And it was something where, honestly, I felt like it was my birthday and I'd gotten everything I wanted. And then suddenly your parents pull a puppy from the closet and they're like, oh, and also this. And I felt so just excited and happy already. And then to have this kind of additional thing, I was over the moon. It was really exciting, very exciting. I mean, I think my early childhood was basically Friday nights was Blockbuster and Saturday was the library. And so growing up, I think I was always immersed around different versions of storytelling. I read way more than I care to admit. And I think writing was always a way to explore ideas and concepts that I was really curious about. I remember, I think the earliest realization that film could really impact you on like a soulful level, and bear with me with this example, but A Little Princess came out a couple of years, I think like a year or two after my parents got divorced. And I remember being a kid and watching this film, and there's that scene where Sarah finds her dad and he doesn't remember her, and she's being dragged away back to the orphanage, and she's like crying out for him, and it broke me. Like I was just bawling, because I think on some level that I didn't realize at that time, so I'm like 5, 6, that my biggest fear was that my dad had moved away and had forgotten about me. And it like touched me on such a core level. And I'm such a masochist that I kept renting that movie over and over again. But I think that level of connection really blew my mind. It was like, oh, like you can talk to people through film and through TV in a way that I think is really powerful and impactful. And so writing's always been what I've wanted to do. I think once I hit college, that's where my focus kind of shifted a bit in terms of moving more so. I still love film. I still adore film, but I think that was my first introduction to writing for television, and I fell in love with the format immediately. It also influenced the types of stories that I want to tell. So I remember I did a lot of sketch, believe it or not, I'm hilarious. I did a lot of sketch comedy. As much as I like to make people cry, I can make them cry through laughing also. So I did sketch comedy, and I remember we were kind of just pitching a bunch of stories, and there was this woman who pitched this sketch, and it was a cute sketch about a bunch of guys who like robbed a library, and that was like the point, right? It's like everything's free. But at the end of it, she said, I just don't know if we have enough Black guys to cast. And it was this moment of, oh dear, like to you, the idea of criminal and Blackness are synonymous. And it was something that it wasn't intended to be malicious at all. And that was the thing that blew my mind. It was, you don't see what's wrong with this. And you're not trying to hurt anybody, but it's a very dangerous kind of Venn diagram to have. And I think at that point, I realized how important representation is and how damaging under or misrepresentation can be.
I want to write, and I want to write entertaining and fun and sad things. But now I see that I also need to write things that are educational and still entertaining as well. And I think that's really influenced the types of stories that I write, and that I look for points of view, demographics, conversations that either haven't had any sort of spotlight or that need more of a spotlight on them. And I try to basically build a platform to raise up other voices and kind of start a conversation and then pass the mic for other people to continue the discussion. So that's what's influenced all of this.